The trouble with being a woodworker is friends always ask you to make things for them. I suppose another way of looking at it is the trouble with having friends, but I know which of the two I've invested more time and money in. I've been asked to make a table and I've got some reclaimed pallet wood to make it out of. Now I need to glue this up into a panel, so the first job is to put a straight edge on it so these can actually join nicely together. All these now have a clean edge put on them, but now they need gluing up into a panel. Just going to get some wood glue applied to the edge, spread out, and then get these clamped together. Now, while I wait for the glue to dry on these, I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and come back to them. I've had my cup of tea, lunch, another cup of tea, and this is dry, so I can get all the clamps taken off. Then I'm going to get all these bits put through the planer thicknesser to clean them all up. All the panels are prepared, so now I guess I better show you what I'm actually trying to make. And that's this weird kind of tulip shaped table. Not my taste, but I'm just doing what I'm told. And that brings us on to today's sponsor of the video, and that's Canon. And they've sent me their new Maxify printer. This is the GX6050. Canon have given me a 10% off voucher for all of the GX range of printers. So please check out the links down below. When they first approached me, I wasn't really sure I needed a new printer, and then they told me about some of the specs, and one of the things it can do is print banners up to 120 centimeters long, and as soon as I heard that, I thought that would be amazing for making woodworking templates. So I've got a design on the computer. Now I can just load some paper and get this printed, and this all connects wirelessly, which is nice. There we go, let's get this attached to the wood. I've got all 4 templates printed. Now I need to attach them to the wood, and what I'm going to use is some spray adhesive. So I went for this printer because of the banner printing option, but it can do other things. It's got a scanner, it's got a normal paper tray, so you can do normal printing, and lots of other stuff. So I'll put a link down below to it so you can check it out. Another thing I like about this printer is how efficient it is to run. I've just got it attached to a battery bank to power it. Not only is it economical on power, it's economical on ink, because instead of having normal cartridges, you fill it up using ink bottles that go into reservoirs. These have little windows so you can see how much ink is left, instead of the usual your printer telling you you're out of ink and you don't believe it. Right, that was really quick and easy. 4 templates done. think this is going to be a game changer, being able to make templates this size, and I'm already thinking of other things I can do with it. Right, so now to the bandsaw to get these all cut out. So, 4 bits cut out, but because obviously they're legs, they really need to be exactly the same size. So I've set up the miter saw. I'm going to trim one end with them lining up to my template. Then I can set up a stop and trim the other end so they're all exactly the same length. With them all the same size, I can get the paper removed. Now, all 4 of these need joining together, and I've been toying with the idea of how to do it. I did think about putting a bit of square wood down the centre as like a stem and downing them onto that, but I've decided I think what would be better is if I join 2 together and then they can kind of slot together. Excuse that action. Anyway, that's the plan. So these need joining together with a slither of wood halfway down each one, well, starting at the top and the bottom of the other. So I've got this scrap of wood which is the same thickness as these boards and cut square. I can work out, I think, the total length and get that cut down. Now this bit of wood just needs cutting in half, well, roughly half. It doesn't really matter where it's cut. Now, one of these bits of wood can get put between 2 of these boards. One lined up with the bottom and the other lined up with the top. Then I can get it clamped up and left to dry. Glue's all dry, so now get the clamps off and give these all a sand down. So this is moment of truth time. Will these 2 fit together nicely? Oh, like a glove. So now I need a top for the table, and I've got a few more bits that I've glued up and planed one extra. So now I can get these 3 bits glued together, and that'll make the top, hopefully, and the bottom. I'm adding some blocks of wood to the top and the bottom of this as I clamp it up so that the whole panel will keep nice and flat. Glue's all dry on this now, so now I need to cut it into 2 bits for the top and the bottom, and I'm going to use the track saw to do that. Now the top and the bottom need to be circular, so to cut them out I'm going to use the bandsaw. The first job is to find the centre, but you could use a jigsaw or any other method of your choosing. I've got a simple circle cutting jig for the bandsaw. I made a video on this years ago, and these tabletops are going to attach using a dowel, so I just need to drill a 6mm hole halfway through the centre of the tops. I want these tabletops to be about 44 centimetres, so I'm going to get this put in the 22 centimetre hole, then we can go to the bandsaw. The jig for the bandsaw makes cutting these out really simple. Now I think I'm just going to add one more detail, and that's put a chamfer around the outside with a router. Now to get all the bits brought together, so I'm going to start with the base because that's the easy bit. I've got the dowel hole in the centre so I can line everything up with that. Then I'm going to mark out the bottom of the leaves and drill some holes between the lines. So this is now upside down, and I can get some glue applied to the base, then get the base on lined up with those pencil lines I've drawn, and then some screws can go through the holes I've drilled. Okay, now for the top, which is going to be slightly more complicated because I don't want to drive screws through because they'll be seen. So what I'm going to do is get out my doweling jig and drill some holes in the top for some 6mm dowels. With the holes drilled, I'm going to now get some dowel pin centre markers, put in the holes, and then I'm going to get this pushed down onto the top to mark where the corresponding holes need to go. So again, this is the hole where I actually cut this out, and that's useful for lining up the centre. Get that into place and push down. And get a little dab of glue put into each of these holes and knock a 6mm dowel into place. Right, onto the base, I can get some glue, and then I can get the top lined up and pushed down. Just going to get a few clamps on this and then leave it all to dry. This is all going to get painted with some bright colours, which I'm hoping I'm not going to have to do, but I am going to get some primer undercoat on it. Unfortunately, I've been roped into painting this as well, and it's going to be some very bright pastel-y colours. Definitely not my usual style, but it's not going in my house. So that's it all done, a nice colourful flowery table. Thank you to Canon for sponsoring this video. This printer I think is going to be really helpful on future projects. Please take a look at the Canon Maxify 650 printer. There'll be a link to it down below. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.